welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be sharing with you another one of my favorite dessert recipes. And personally, I like my desserts to be light, I like them to be delicious, healthy, and this one definitely has all of that. And on top of that, it's also perfect for the season because we're going to be using some seasonal ingredients. It's also a gluten-free and dairy-free dessert, which is always a must for me. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here are all the ingredients that we're going to need for today. So I have a diced apple here. You can use anything that's tart. A Granny Smith apple is preferable. I actually couldn't find any at my local grocery store, so I have a Fuji apple here that I've just diced into small bite-sized pieces. Then I have some beautiful rhubarb here, and rhubarb is definitely a seasonal ingredient, and right now it's pretty easy to find. I also have some chopped walnuts here, but you can also use pecans as well, totally up to you. And I have some lemon juice, freshly squeezed lemon juice here. And then for the alternative ingredients that I mentioned earlier, for the healthy gluten-free ingredients, we have some almond flour here and coconut flour here. And you might be wondering where to find it. They're pretty easily accessible nowadays. I would say most health food stores should absolutely have them, and even some grocery store would have them. If your grocery store has a gluten-free section, you might be able to find them there. Now we're also going to need some coconut oil, we're going to need some raw honey, some cinnamon, and some vanilla extract. And also, as an optional last step, you can top it up with some ice cream, and this one is actually a dairy-free. It's a coconut ice cream and it's absolutely delicious. I love this brand so much, and I have some vanilla ice cream here. So this is all we're gonna need, so let's get started. So since this is going to be going in the oven, you want to use an oven-safe dish. I have a glass pan here that I'm gonna be using, and while we're gonna be doing this, I have my oven preheating at 350. So what we're gonna start with is combine apples with rhubarb. We're just gonna mix that in there, and I'm gonna just top it up with some lemon juice. Delicious. Next, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla, just like that, over it. And next I'm going to add some honey, and we're gonna need, for my proportions, I'm gonna need about 1.5 tablespoons of honey, but I'm going to include the ingredients for you in the bottom bar because I'm making a smaller portion today. But I will include all the measurements in the bottom bar. Next, I'm gonna add in 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, just kind of sprinkle it over. There we go. Before I add the next ingredients, I'm going to stir this really well because I'm using raw honey. It is solid, so it's gonna take me a minute to just kind of stir everything together. So go ahead and stir at this point to combine all the ingredients. All right, so here we go. Everything is nice and combined now. The acidity in the lemon juice actually helps to kind of melt the honey. So this is perfect right here. And what I'm going to do next is just add the coconut flour, and I'm gonna be using about 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. So just sprinkle that over top, just like that. And again, we're gonna mix this really well. Okay, so once all this is nice and combined, just kind of flatten it up there, and I'm gonna put it aside, and we're going to mix in our topping ingredients. So I'm just gonna grab a separate bowl here and mix in the almond flour, and then I'm gonna add in the walnuts. I actually forgot to mention, we're gonna need to add some salt. As with any dessert, you wanna balance out the flavor of the sweetness with a little bit of saltiness. So just add in some salt. I think it's about 1/2 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon. I will include, again, all the ingredient list in the bottom bar. So once we got that in, we're gonna put in some honey, just like that. Perfect. About 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon again. So I think right there is about enough. And last but not least, some coconut oil. I'm gonna use about 2.5 tablespoons. Right, so once I got all the ingredients in there, I'm gonna just dig in with my hands and start to rub everything together until we get a nice crumbly texture. So as you mix this, if you notice that your texture is very kind of gooey, ooey, and it doesn't have that crumbly texture, don't worry, all you gotta do is just add in a little bit more almond flour. And this is probably gonna be trial and error. You kind of have to just add in and mix it and then see how it goes. So I'm just adding it a bit more and continue mixing. All right, so once we get that desired crumbly texture, all we gotta do is just kind of sprinkle it over the apple and rhubarb mixture here. And all you want to do is kind of evenly spread it around all over. All right, so once you spread it all over, it's time to just pop it in the oven again at 350, and For how long it will actually depend on your oven, on your particular oven. For me, I think it's gonna be probably about 30 to 35 minutes. So here we go. I'm just gonna put it in the oven, just like that, and we'll be back in 30 minutes. All right, you guys, so it's been about 35 minutes, so I've taken it out of the oven, and what you're looking for is to get that beautiful brown topping. You don't want it obviously to get burned, but a nice beautiful color is perfect. So what you want to do is make sure to cool it down completely. I've let it cool down for about 5 minutes, and I'm so excited to try it that I can't wait any longer. But you want it to cool down completely because we are going to be putting some ice cream over it, otherwise it will melt right through. So I can't wait any longer, so I'm gonna give it a bit of a taste because I'm so excited. It smells amazing. So here we go. I'm just gonna put in a little bit, maybe a little more. Here we are. And of course, I'm gonna top it up with some ice cream. So here we are, moment of truth. I'm gonna make sure that I get all the ingredients onto my spoon. Oh my God, it's so perfect. I love the combination of sweet, a little bit of sweetness, not a lot at all, the crunchy walnuts, and the perfect little tart flavor from the rhubarb, and of course on top of that the creamy coconut ice cream. So good. So here you are. Make sure to make this for your next family gathering or friends gathering, and you know what else, do not tell them it's healthy and they won't have any idea. That's how good it is. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like this video and definitely leave me your comments below, and definitely subscribe to the channel for awesome delicious recipes to come. And if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure to follow me. I post daily pictures. So thank you guys so much again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.